right now, though. Want to welcome to the program NRA ILA's Director of Research and Information, Mr. John Fraser. How you doing tonight, John?
I'm fine tonight. Thanks, Kim. How are you?
I'm good. All right, so I saw this at the Huffington Post, probably, I guess it was yesterday, and then a lot of local papers started picking up variations of this story from the gun control groups. This was from the Violence Policy Center. They say gun deaths outpace motor vehicle deaths in 10 states in 2009. John, what are they talking about?
What they're talking about is a pure apples and oranges comparison. They're comparing total numbers across the board, which is a completely invalid comparison because obviously most vehicle deaths are accidents, and so if they really want an accurate comparison, they should compare motor vehicle accidents and firearm accidents. And firearm accidents, of course, are at their lowest point in recorded history.
I'm sorry. Repeat that last part again.
I'm sorry. Firearms accidents are at their lowest point in recorded history, and a tiny fraction of motor vehicle deaths in any state.
Interesting, John, that little factoid wasn't included in any of the news stories that I saw yesterday.
No, of course not, because it wouldn't support their agenda, which is to promote restrictions on guns that have absolutely no parallel in motor vehicle regulation.
Yeah. So, okay. So, apples to oranges here. But in the states that they mentioned, for instance, do we know? You say accidents involving firearms are at all-time lows. I'm guessing then that for these 10 states, the number of accidents involving firearms are also dropping?
Yeah, it's been dropping nationally. It's actually at the point where the number in any given state for firearms fatalities is so low in any given year. You know, there are a bunch of states that are single digits that year to year you can't even really track year to year trends within a particular state.
Okay, and so when you see stories like this get out, John, and I mean it's almost a matter of these reporters taking what amounts to a press release from the Violence Policy Center, changing a few words, rewriting it, and then putting it up on their website or putting it in their local paper. I mean, what do we do to push back?
Well, I think what people need to do is point out the kind of things that I've mentioned, and to look at the reality of the situation. I mean, why is it distorted? It's distorted because it's an anti-gun group that's promoting that's using a fairly savvy strategy. They know that the media will buy what they put out. So if it's got a market, sell, right?
Right.
And something that's prepackaged and fits the biases that are out there is unnatural for them to do. But people just need to be aware of the facts, which is that if you look at what has really been done, both firearms accidents and firearms crimes are down. Firearms homicides are down. And why is that? It's partly because we've adopted strategies of enforcement that are actually more similar to what has been done in motor vehicles. The VPC study talks about drunk driving prosecution and things like that. That's more parallel to things like Project Exile and similar enforcement programs that actually put people in prison for doing dangerous, illegal things with guns. That's a lot more parallel than what they suggest.
Well, yeah, because it's interesting, John. They once again kind of conflate things. This press release from the VPC quotes Kristen Rand, their legislative director, as saying, "quote It's time to end firearm status as the last unregulated consumer product." Yeah. Now they're talking about, in a lot of these cases, violent crimes committed by individuals who are not legally allowed to own these firearms in the first place. They've obtained them illegally.
Right.
So, A, what's she talking about, an unregulated consumer product? And B, is she once again trying to confuse the issue here of, public safety, violent crime versus accidents involving firearms and things of that nature?
Yeah, well, they are trying to conflate it, and the comparison is invalid. I mean, if you look, if the argument that firearms are completely unregulated is nonsense. If you look at the paperwork you had to fill out just at the federal level last time you bought a firearm, and compare it to what you had to fill out, to register a car with the DMV, the gun paperwork is much more extensive, in my experience. Then VPC of course uses this to argue for all kinds of things that, as I said, have no parallel with guns, like regulations on who can possess guns. You don't have classes of people who are prohibited from owning cars.
Right.
You don't have certain types of cars that can't be sold in certain states, and things like that. You don't have restrictions on driving your car in public.
Or on a college campus, right? You can.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, people, anti-gun groups often say that guns should be regulated like cars. If guns were regulated like cars, you could drive your car anywhere in the country, or you could carry your gun anywhere in the country.
That's a very good point. Hey, listen, John, I'm pleased that you could come join us on the program tonight, sir, and hopefully we can do this again very soon.
Happy to do it always, Tim.